Okay, so as of recently, a bunch of racers have been revealed to be coming to Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. And a lot of them that have been revealed lately have been crossover characters, either from other Sega titles or completely different companies. In the likes of SpongeBob and Patrick, or even the Minecraft characters in Steve, Alex, and Creeper. And even them announcing that there's going to be more collaborations down the road in the likes of the Ninja Turtles and Avatar: The Last Airbender. And we also have some Sega characters in the likes of Hatsune Miku, Joker, and Ichiban Kasuga. And at first, you might think that this is more of a positive thing, allowing a lot of these racers to join the race. And from a business standpoint, it genuinely just makes sense for Sega to do so, as this game isn't just limited to people that really enjoy Sonic games now. There could be somebody that really enjoys the SpongeBob series, the Ninja Turtles, Minecraft, or any of the other Sega series and might pick up this game just because their favorite characters are in the game. And while I personally love some of these characters like Joker, and even the Ninja Turtles coming to the game, and I think that's really exciting for them to be coming, I think that there's kind of a bad side to all of these crossovers. Now, before you say that I'm just hating on different characters being in the game and I think that it should only be Sonic characters, hear me out for a second. Obviously, for each character is going to take some work into putting into the game. And some of these being DLC, so they didn't even make the original cut of just being in the base game. They most likely have to make an entirely new model that actually fits with the other racers, create an entirely new kart or extreme gear board for them, or even create a whole new track based around this character's franchise. And this is taking a lot of work away from adding other Sonic characters. Now, I think it's totally fine that they're going to be adding characters like Joker, or potentially even later on down the road like Knights or Beats or any other Sega character like that. That just makes sense. These characters have not only been in other Sonic games, with Knights being in the likes of Sonic Adventure as a pinball machine in the game, but also characters like Knights, Amigo, Billy Hatcher, and many, many more have been in the Sonic and Sega racing games. That just kind of makes sense. They work very close and they're very hand-to-hand in all of their developers and people that work on those games. But one thing that I want to make you guys aware of when it comes to this entire roster is take a look at the website. So as we can see here with the Sonic characters, we have a lot of characters that have already been revealed so far. We have Sonic, Amy, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, Cream and Cheese, Dr. Eggman, Omega, Zaz, Jet, Wave, and Storm. These are obviously all of the characters that were playable in the beta. And I know some other characters have been noticed in trailers that are going to be in the game. Characters like Espio, Vector, and Zavok have already been revealed to be in the game. And I know that there's been a few more that have been revealed already that people have noticed. And we also have the likes of the Sonic Prime characters in Nine, Dread, and Rusty Rose, who are going to be coming later on in the Season Pass for the Sonic Prime racers. These three characters are definitely great choices from the Sonic Prime series, but I do think it's still a little crazy that they snubbed Chaos Sonic from this. And we also have the pre-order bonus in the Werehog. Now, if we count all of these slots that are on the website here for all of the Sonic characters, you have 27 total racers that are from the Sonic the Hedgehog series. Now, if we go up to the top and look at the Season Pass collaboration racers, you have 15 slots up there. And if you want to add the free post-launch racers, which I would assume are going to be Sega-themed characters and not necessarily Sonic characters, so I'm just going to assume that they are not Sonic characters, you have 13 racer slots. Meaning if you add up the Season Pass collaboration racers along with the free post-launch racers, that means you have 28 racers in total that are not Sonic characters. Opposed to the number I said before where there's going to be 27 Sonic characters. Meaning that there are more characters that are not Sonic characters in this Sonic-themed game than actual Sonic characters. Listen, I would get it if Sonic just didn't have a lot of characters to choose from, but at this point, Sonic has almost hundreds of characters you could add from the games, the comics, or even possibly the movie characters. Now, you could 100% make the argument saying the free post-launch racers, some of those could potentially be Sonic characters. I do think that's a little unlikely, but if they did, I feel like maybe some of the slots, maybe 2 to 3 of them would be Sonic characters, if anything. But I don't see any of the collaboration racers being anything Sega related. Considering we know 2 of the other series that are going to be in the game, the likes of the Ninja Turtles, I imagine that's going to take up 4 slots. With Leo, Raph, Mikey, and Donnie taking up 4 of those slots, as all the Turtles would be in the game. And I would imagine that Avatar: The Last Airbender is most likely going to be taking up 2 to 3 slots. I think some of those characters that could consist of are going to be Aang, Korra, Katara, Zuko, or even Sokka. Or maybe even Toph. Avatar has a bunch of characters that they could choose from, but I would imagine they're not going to give them a bunch of them. I would say probably 2 to 3 if I had to give an educated guess. I think it's just crazy that Sega wouldn't prioritize adding Sonic characters to this game. Like, I think it would be great to have characters come back like Fang, Trip, Tangle and Whisper, Surge, Mighty and Ray, Styx, Mephiles, Metal Knuckles, Tikal, Chaos. There's so many characters that you could genuinely be adding to this game, and for some reason Sega wants to prioritize collaboration characters over the actual series of what the game is named after. This game is named Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. It just seems like more and more that Sega is trying to create the Super Smash Bros. Of a racing game, with majority of the characters being Sonic characters. But hell, I can't even say that it's a majority, because majority of the characters actually probably are not going to be Sonic characters. Like I said, I get it from a business standpoint, and I understand that they don't want this game to not succeed. I mean, I'm sure they don't want any Sonic game to be unsuccessful. But Sonic has been doing really well as of recently. And a lot of people that are just getting into the series might not know a lot of these characters, and what a better way to introduce them to these characters in a racing game where they're going to actually be playable. I'm absolutely ecstatic to see characters like Jet the Hawk come back, but I would love for more and more Sonic characters to be in this game. I don't like limiting myself to just one main character. Sure, everyone's going to have a main in this game, and I'm sure there's going to be a tier list of which characters fit better on extreme gearboards versus cars. It's just like that in any other racing game, or even any fighting game for that fact. There's tier lists of what characters that just genuinely perform better than others depending on how you're going to be using them. And that's totally fine, but for me personally, as somebody that isn't trying to get super ultra competitive with the game and be able to use multiple characters, it's really limited on who I'm going to actually be playing as. Now, alternatively, Sega could be adding a bunch of skins for each of the characters, considering how well that is doing for Mario Kart World as well. Mario Kart World has a bunch of different costumes for most of the main characters in the game, and I could see definitely Sega trying to hop on that trend, considering that they have added skins to past games in the recent years, like Sonic Colors and Sonic X Shadow Generations. And I could see them more focusing on skins for each of the Sonic characters that have already been confirmed to be in the game. That potentially could be a reason why, but I personally don't think that is the reason why. I think it's unlikely, and I don't think that we're going to be getting any skins. I think that would have already been revealed as a pre-order bonus or something within the digital deluxe version. But there has yet to be any confirmation on that, and you already have a bunch of customization when it comes to the karts and extreme gearboards. Which is great, and I love that there is a bunch of customization features within each of the karts and extreme gearboards. But at the end of the day, I could say that I am entirely wrong, and I'm just kind of ranting and complaining for nothing. It definitely could be a thing, like I was saying, in the free post-launch racers. They could be adding characters like Tangle and Whisper, possibly the movie characters, or something along those lines that would be really cool like that. And I like that they are doing collaboration characters. I mean, characters like SpongeBob are pretty crazy to think that they would ever be in a Sonic game. I think if you would have told 10-year-old me that absolutely loves watching SpongeBob as a cartoon and absolutely loves playing Sonic as a video game, telling me that they would be in the same exact game and be competing against each other in a racing game, I would have told you that you were absolutely out of your mind. But me now, I would say that I would much prefer the likes of someone like Mephiles, Movie Sonic, Classic Sonic, having someone like Bean, Bark, and Fang coming back, opposed to having SpongeBob in the game. I'm just being 100% honest. I would really hope that Sega wouldn't prioritize adding SpongeBob over some really cool characters that haven't been in games in a long time. Hell, you can even add just a bunch of different versions of Sonic, and I think I'd be more happy than that. You could add the likes of Super Sonic, Dark Spine Sonic, Prime Sonic, Movie Sonic, Classic Sonic, Dreamcast Sonic. You can do any version of Sonic, and I think that would be better picked than SpongeBob. I'm not mad about SpongeBob. I would just be okay with it if there was significantly more Sonic characters in the game. And hopefully there is. Hopefully this video just ages like absolute crap. Hopefully there are a bunch of Sonic characters and I am entirely wrong when this thing is all said and done. I could be 100% wrong, and I know that some people are probably going to be disagreeing with what I'm saying, as it's somewhat of a hot take, I'm sure. I just really want to see other Sonic characters in this game, and especially ones that haven't had a lot of spotlight in the past. Characters like Jet, Espio, Vector obviously aren't in games a bunch nowadays. But those are three characters that I've absolutely loved since I was a little kid playing Sonic. But I would like for characters like Infinite or Tikal or Mephiles to get another chance, or maybe even Black Doom. Or like, what about Mecha Sonic that has been really popular in the IDW comics, or characters like Tangle and Whisper, or maybe bring back characters like Sally or something like that that apparently Sega does have the rights to, they just have never used it. But let me know what you guys think. Am I overreacting or jumping the gun, or do you think it's a little bit justified of what I'm saying? And who do you guys want to see in the game when it comes to crossovers or other Sonic characters that haven't been revealed yet? I would love to know who you guys would like to see in the game. I'm genuinely extremely excited for this game, and I think this game has every making to be the best Sonic racing game there has ever been. It 100% has the potential to do it, and it has everything that was good about old racing games and the likes of the Riders games and the Sega racing games. But I can't wait for this game to come out, and it's going to be a bunch of fun to do so, and definitely make more videos about this game. So with all that being said, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.